Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob. We are not quite fresh off our trip, but fresh enough. Um, we got back on Sunday. Obviously, today's Tuesday when we record these episodes that come out on Thursdays. Uh, we got a lot of recapping to do. We got a lot of catching up, a lot of sharing, a lot of stories. Um, I think the the best way to do it probably is to start with just the debacle of the Bruins, and then we'll kind of like trickle from there. Um, so for anyone that doesn't know, if you're new to the show, we have been in the past few years, we had always picked an away game for the Patriots to go watch them somewhere else. On one hand, it was an excuse to travel to a cool city. On the other hand, it was we get to watch the Patriots, right? Like it's mostly about the travel to the city, but it's also kind of to watch the Patriots play. We did that for what, 3 years in a row, and then COVID hit. We had a trip
So we
booked
well
to
we did
Buffalo.
we did 18, 19, and 21.
Yeah,
I also went in 17 with people
right.
to New Orleans. And then in 2022, we had bachelor parties to kind of fit.
Yeah.
So I'd say the core of us went on four.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, well, me, you, and Vinny went on four.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so there were quite a bit of bachelor parties in 2022. And then by that time, the Patriots sucked, right? Like they weren't good.
Yeah,
Um,
and the biggest issue with 2023 was the schedule wasn't very helpful.
yeah, we did try in 2023, right? But that
We
was the
tried,
year
but
the
it
Minnesota was Thanksgiving night. Arizona was a
was like a Monday night.
Monday night football.
Something else was like Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I think Vegas was Christmas Eve or Christmas weekend. Um,
Well, the problem with Vegas and Dallas, they're both just crazy expensive.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Those were
Then
just really
they're
expensive.
crazy every single time. They're nuts.
But there was one Chicago, was
That
Chicago
was that
Christmas.
wasn't that was this.
Oh, that was
It wasn't Chicago, but I don't remember who it was.
yeah,
Truthfully,
yeah. I don't know. Um,
like the Miami game was in September. The
yeah,
Buffalo game was week 18. Like it just didn't work.
yeah. 2023 just didn't work. Oh, that's what it was because Miami was in September, but the kid was due the first week in September. So you guys were going to go. I wasn't going to be able to go. And then I think Green Bay
No, it was
was
Green Bay. Green Bay was in September. That was like right around the due date. And then Miami might have been October. It might not have been
no,
September,
I thought
but
Miami was week one. And then because
oh, maybe it
Green
was.
Bay was like 2 weeks after the due date. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be
It
able
was
to
the
go to
Bailey
Green
Zappi
Bay.
game. It was like
Yeah,
week 4 or something.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, 2023 just sucked. Didn't work. And then 2024, I don't think we tried all that hard just because the
2020.
team was really
So I
bad.
I I it's probably on me. Um, well, so I'm sorry. Crushing the Patriots game was definitely on me. Not having something else was a little bit on me, but also I also went to Italy, so it's like I really
Yeah,
wasn't in the mood to book anything else.
yeah.
But yeah, that was my thing was I'm not paying 230 bucks to freeze my ass off in November in Chicago all the way up
Yeah,
for that fucking team.
yeah. Um, so we decided, let's see if we can find a good Bruins away game on a Saturday, right? Like, can we make that work? Right now, that's that's really trying to thread the needle, because you need the Bruins to be away on a
Way
Saturday
in a decent
in a
city
decent city.
on a Saturday.
Right, right. So, we found one. We found Tampa Bay, the first weekend in March or second weekend in March, depending on how you want to look at it. Um, and we are like, yeah, fuck it, let's book it. And we booked it in what, like November?
I think so.
We might have booked it at Thanksgiving, maybe
We
ish,
booked it that
roughly.
week because I
Yeah,
think someone paid me at
yeah.
Thanksgiving at Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah. So we booked it in November, right? We're like, oh, let's go. Let's just watch the Bruins. All right, cool. All right, great. That catches us up, right? So welcome to the show. Um, Now last weekend we get to the trip. We fly down to Tampa on Friday morning. 8 a.m. flight. We get in at what, like 11:30, right? So we drop our shit at the hotel. They let us leave it behind the desk because the rooms weren't ready, and we mosey on over
We were
to a
pretty much at lunch by 1.
yeah, we go over to a taco place to start grabbing lunch. So we get food, we get a couple margaritas to kick off the weekend, and the news starts rolling in. So to back it up just slightly, a little bit here, for anyone that doesn't follow hockey, the Bruins have not been that good this year. They've had a few injuries. They fired their coach in November. So they've had an interim coach for most of the season. Um, just hasn't been that good, right? Some of their better players have been injured, right? Charlie McAvoy is hurt. Um, is it Hampus Lindholm is also hurt, right? Elias is still playing. He's the center. Um, so yeah, they've had a lot of injuries. They're not that good this year. Okay, whatever. Like I said, we booked this in November. It's fine. It's Tampa. Let's just have a good time, right? Let's see what happens. Knowing that they're probably going to lose, right? Tampa Bay Lightning are a very good hockey team. So while we're at lunch and then throughout the rest of the afternoon, we start getting notifications on our phone. Oh shit. It looks like the Bruins traded Charlie Coyle to the Colorado Avalanche. Okay. All right. That's whatever. Right. He's their second line center, or wing, depending on where they need him to play. Realistically, he should probably be a third line center, but he's a local guy, right? Grew up in Weymouth, from Weymouth, all that happy horse shit. All right, Charlie Coyle gets traded. All right, kind of sucks, but whatever. Um, was it that day or the day before they traded Trent Frederick, who's another
I
guy
think it
who's a
was the day
third?
before.
Yeah, so Frederick was the day before. So he's another third liner at best, right? Whatever. People in Boston like him. It is what it is. All right, cool, fine, no big deal. Like 20 minutes later, we all get dings. Brandon Carlo just got traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. We were like, okay, all right. I guess we're sellers at the NHL trade deadline this year. So they send him to the Maple Leafs. Was there anyone else before the big one, or no? Was it just those two? And then I feel like they
Hmm.
traded someone else.
I feel like it was someone, but not
Yeah,
really.
they traded someone else somewhere, right? Who know? I don't remember. And then all of a sudden we go, holy shit! They just traded Brad Marchand, who has been on the team for 16 years or 16 seasons, was the captain of the team. Before Pasternak really became who he is, was the best goal scorer on the team for a really long time. Um, the only person left on the roster that won the Stanley Cup in 2011. Um, they traded him to the Florida Panthers, right? And we were like, holy shit. They completely just gutted the team. So we're laughing, right? Because they just traded Trent Frederick the day before. They traded Coyle, Carlo, Marchand, and some other guy on Friday. And we're like, they're not going to have enough fucking guys to play tomorrow. Like, we're going to be watching the Providence Bruins. Like, they're going to have to call up so many guys from Providence to come play to fill the roster because they just traded half the team. So, obviously, right? We're sitting there, we go, of course, of course. The day we fly down to Tampa on Friday for a Saturday game, they fire sale the whole roster. And we were like, yep, yep, that sounds about right. So we're like, yeah, whatever. Like it's just it is what it is, right? So then I guess we can just stick with the Eeyore womp womp stuff here. So then finally we get back to the hotel, probably around 3 o'clock, and check-in is at 3. So you go up to the counter, you're standing there. The rest of us idiots are kind of over in the side lobby. And it's like 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by. There's no one at the front desk anymore. We're like, all right, whatever. We're in the South. Everything is super slow, right? Which is one of those things you always forget being from the Northeast until you go back to the South. And you're like, oh, that's right. The service is just slow down here. Everything moves way fucking slower. It's like, all right, whatever. 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes goes by. And then someone's back at the desk and they're checking in other people. There was a line behind you at one point. People are asking us, like, are we good? Like, yep, yeah, we're with him over there. So I walk over to you and I go, hey, man, is everything good? And you go, no, actually, we can't get our rooms.
So it's to tighten it up a little bit. The woman went to go check on what we
Right.
had,
Yeah.
and ultimately she found out that the rooms that I had booked, which was I booked two of them. They were both a I forget what they call it. It was like a very small suite, like
Yeah.
two queens and a couch in each room.
Right.
So I got two rooms, six guys, two queens and a couch, and it was like, again, I wasn't paying like suite prices for this thing. It was like it was like a regular room rate.
Right.
So she goes, "Oh yeah, I went to go check and those rooms are unavailable. The AC is broken and the windows don't open." She goes, "So it'll have to be like whatever, we'll give you like $50 off each night." She goes, "Does that work?" I go, "I mean, we're here. Doesn't really
Yeah. I kind of don't have
sound
a
like there's a
choice.
whole lot else." So of the six people, I am smaller than everybody at 5'8", 165 pounds. Everybody is much bigger than I am. Two fulls in each room. Two fulls. So got absolutely fucked on the rooms,
Yep.
which my hot take is I wonder if those rooms are even available, like when I booked them, or do they just fuck up the booking? Because why would both of their ACs be out?
Right. Right. Was it a whole floor? Or did they overbook? Because there was a wedding in our hotel. Like
They
there was
could have
that.
overbooked.
Yeah. They might have overbooked with the wedding and then just booted us out of there. Because like
They could have.
the no AC and the no windows, like you said, in two different rooms.
The windows don't open. That's like all of the windows. They don't
Well, yeah,
open.
I mean that's a standard hotel thing to not have the windows really open. As otherwise, people would fucking kill
Yeah,
themselves
people
at a
jump out.
hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean to have both rooms with AC broken, like, non-standard rooms.
Yeah,
I mean, I was kind of looking at it like, again, we're already here. I'm not finding another hotel. It kind of is what it is. We're not getting like they can't make it a pier
right,
because if they could, we'd be in it.
right.
And I was gonna say like the $50 off per night was way less than like the downgraded rate for the room would have been.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. Splitting six guys in four full beds.
Yeah. Yep. So that was Friday, right? And then as is tradition, we didn't really have much to do on Friday, so we got way too drunk. Uh although again,
Speak for
like the
yourself.
other
I think
thing
I
we
think I got the exact amount of drunk that I was not only expecting, but also like kind of looking for.
okay, so you got the perfect amount of drunk. The rest of us got way too drunk. And but it was fine. But again, so the other thing too that is fantastic about, especially day drinking and especially drinking past the age of 30 is we were back in the room by 10 o'clock. I think I was
Yep.
probably asleep by 10:30. It's just fantastic. Like, all right, awesome. Like I don't have to deal with this stupid 2 a.m. bullshit anymore. Like, nope, 10:30, I am staring at the back of my eyelids.
I mean, I've probably said it a lot, but I think I said it. I think I feel like I said it on the plane, but maybe I said it at work or maybe I said it at the terminal, whatever. But when people like, oh, they always say like nothing good happens after midnight. Well, dude, truthfully, nothing good happens after about 10:15
Yeah,
in
exactly.
all actuality.
Yeah. Um, so Friday, cool, whatever, right? We were like, yeah, this game's gonna suck, no big deal, whatever. So we get up on Saturday, we kind of mosey around. Me, Vinny, Jones go get breakfast. By the time we found a breakfast store and actually finished eating and everything, it was probably close to 10 o'clock. Um, yeah, or we got back to the hotel maybe at like, yeah, like it was like 10:15, right? Because we left to
It
go
was
to
it
Hat Tricks.
was way closer to 11, but again, we're
Yeah,
splitting hairs
yeah,
here.
whatever. So, um, we go to Hat Tricks, right? And which is a bar that's near the Amalie Arena, right? Where the Tampa Bay Lightning play. Um, and we sit there. The food, that's the other thing too. I know now at this point I'm kind of just jumping around everywhere. But the food in Tampa Bay, sneaky, really fucking incredible,
Well,
honestly.
just to clarify too, we did stay in Ybor City, which is kind of yes, it's Tampa, but it is its own separate,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
no,
guess,
that's fair.
neighborhood or
District,
historic
borough,
city,
whatever you
historic
want to.
city center. I don't know what you want to call it, but
Yeah, it's
it's like
like
a
a
historic
it's
downtown
a
Cuban immigrants.
district.
I brought it up before. It's like Cuban immigrants,
It's like the
mixing
North
some
End in Boston,
Italian, some
right? It's like
Spanish.
some it's just an area of the city, like Back Bay, North End, you know what I mean? Stuff like every city has that, right? So
Um, and then yeah, I mean, obviously the sports bar was good too.
yeah, so we got the wings there. The wings were absolutely incredible. They had duck poutine, which was great. Again, I bat to back up again as I'm jumping around. The taco place on Friday literally knocked the socks right off of my feet. Um, that was really good. There was a pizza place. We went both nights. We went
You're
Friday,
welcome.
Friday and Saturday night. Um, they had, I would call it gourmet pizzas that you could order by the slice. And they had a massive case full of them where there was probably at least 12 to 15 different pizzas that they had on their little like display case. You could be like, yeah, I'll do a slice of buffalo chicken, a slice of margarita, I'll do a barbecue chicken, whatever. Like the slices were huge. The place was incredible. I don't remember the name of it, but shout out to that
Due
pizza.
amici.
Due Amici. There you go. Shout out to Due Amici in Ybor City in Tampa.
Means two friends for those of us who have been to Italy once.
Big Duolingo guy. Um,
Finished it.
oh, nice. Well, that was the other thing too. Saturday morning, Vinny, Vinny goes out somewhere. Oh, he went to go get waters because we woke up in the morning and Vinny was like, "Yeah, I don't know how the fuck we didn't buy waters for the little mini fridge." And I go, "Yeah, man, I don't know." And he goes, "All right, I'm gonna go get some." So he walks to the store, comes back with a bunch of water, and you're doing Duolingo on your phone. Vinny's like, "Am I fucked up?" Or like, "What is he doing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Like trying to play it off and be like, "I don't know. What do you mean, dude?" Like I think he's just listening to stuff. He goes, "Are you learning Spanish?" It's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then he finally figured out that it was Italian. Um, so yeah, hat tricks, fantastic. We were there for 3 hours.
The interesting thing about hat tricks, though, remember, so when I was looking at the menu, it was like, oh, bucket specials, whatever.
Yes, this is the
So
best part.
Chris was like, I'm like, I go, what are you drinking? He goes, I'm probably gonna start with beer. I go, all right. So like, we'll just get a bucket. He goes, yeah, that's cool. So I go, oh, can I get a bucket of Coors Light? She goes, well, I can't do a bucket, but I can put 5 beers with ice in a bucket and give that to you. I go, that'll work just fine. So the menu says bucket specials.
Yeah.
They can give me beer and ice in a bucket, but they don't sell buckets. Figure that one out for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if she misspoke. I don't know what the background was,
Yeah, I
but
don't
she
know
was
if
like, "Well,
maybe the
I
bucket thing is a happy hour thing, because that's the other thing too, not being in
maybe."
New England, everywhere has happy hour.
But for her to and because this is as close to a direct quote as I can probably make it. I mean, like maybe just
Uh-oh, you're frozen. Hopefully it comes back. But um oh, it's telling me my internet connection is unstable. That's not ideal. Um so yeah, like he was saying, um yeah, so my computer fucking sucks. And I just completely lost internet connection. And I know it's not the house because we have Disney Plus playing in the background and that never stopped. My phone was also connected, so it's my shitbag computer that's probably on its last leg because it's probably approaching 11 years at this point. So yeah, I have no idea where that cut off, but let's go back to hat tricks with the bucket story because that's one of my favorite things.
Or did that not come through? Or are we just in case it did come through,
Just
or
in
did
just
just
in
in case
case
it
we
didn't?
missed it, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we sat down. Chris said he was going to be drinking beer, so I saw in the menu that you can get that they got like bucket specials, whatever. So I'm like, all right, we'll just get a bucket. So, everyone she takes everyone's drinks. I go, all right, can I do a bucket of Coors or can we do a bucket of Coors Light? And she goes, well, I can't do a bucket for you, but I could put 5 beers with ice in a bucket and bring that. I go, yep, that'll be great.
That'll be actually exactly what I wanted.
So they don't do buckets. She said, we don't I can't do a bucket, but I can bring you 5 beers in a bucket. So don't exactly know what happened on that one, but
Yeah. Yeah, but we don't sell buckets. But I can get you a bucket full of beer.
yeah, we don't sell
Okay.
buckets, but I'll get you 5 in a bucket.
Yeah.
Sure. That's okay with me.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. So yeah, we were there for about 3 hours prior to the game. Um, Place got absolutely slammed. We got there at 11:15 and it was already full. So we sat
Yeah, allegedly
outside.
they opened at 11.
Yeah, which I feel like they didn't open at 11. They must open earlier if the Lightning have like a Saturday game or
There
something.
also could have been a line out, like a line waiting for them to open too.
Yeah, could
Like
have
remember
been.
like Charlotte something? There was a line to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, yeah, shout out to them. Great wings, great duck poutine. Um, so yeah, we sat on the sidewalk on a table outside. Luckily we had an awning over us though to cover us from that awful, terrible Florida heat and sun that they just don't understand what it's like to have seasons and be cold in March. But
Yeah, it was really tragic.
yeah,
It was awful to sit near a pool in March.
It's terrible.
Awful.
Yeah. So we get into the game and we go up to our seats and we're hanging out. We grab beers, we get all the shit we need. The game starts, we get puck drop. Um, was it did they score in the first period?
No, it was
No.
only like
So the
both
end of the
teams like slept walk through the first period. It
yeah.
was like shots were like six to
Oh,
five.
that's right. Yeah, they only had
It was
11
tough.
total shots in the first period. That's right. That was a fucking snooze fest. So then they come out in the second period. Bruins go up 1-0. We're like, okay, whatever. We know how this ends. This is just, they're just going to fucking lose, right? Here's the false hope. Um, a little later in the second period, there's a clearing shot from the fucking blue line where they're trying to dump the puck in. It takes a goofy bounce on the ice and then sneaks in right behind Vasilevsky. And Bruins go up 2-0. And we were like, okay, they're still gonna lose, but whatever. I think it was probably 2-0 going into the third period, and most of the third period. Then probably with about 5 minutes left, Tampa Bay pulls the goalie, right? And you know, Boston player gets the puck, in the defensive zone and chucks it down the ice, and wouldn't you know, it goes in the net, and it's 3-0. So then we're like, holy shit, they're gonna fucking win this game. They have nobody left on the roster. Like, and they're gonna go to Tampa and they're gonna beat the Tampa Bay Lightning that are one of the better teams in the NHL. Um, so then maybe with like a minute-ish left in the game, there's a breakaway. Pasta gets the puck, brings it down the ice. It was a 2-on-1, flips it past the Tampa Bay defenseman to whoever was on the other side, which at this point, if it's not David Pastrnak, who gives a shit? And that other guy scored. So final score, Bruins 4, Tampa Bay 0. They fucking shut out the Lightning in Tampa the day after they traded half of the roster. So we were like, dude, that's absolutely bonkers. So we leave the game. We go to Gasparilla's. Um,
Marilla Distillery, fucking something or other.
yeah. Um, Tampa Bay loves their pirates, right? They love pirate stuff.
Well, the Gasparilla, or I don't know if it's the or Gasparilla, whatever it is. That's
Yeah.
like Mardi Gras, but pirate themed.
Yeah. And then, well, because the other bar we went to, the Grotto, like Gasper's Grotto or whatever, that was a pirate bar. There's a lot of pirate themed things in Tampa Bay. Um, which I mean, I guess it makes sense if it was an old Spanish pirate town. Um, but yeah, hey, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right, in the NFL. Like it's there's a lot of pirate stuff going on in Tampa Bay. So we go to Gasparilla's, get a couple rum drinks. For me personally, at least, they did not go down smoothly. Chris had to finish my second one that I got, and I was like, I just don't want it. Um, so then we head back into like the main drag of Ybor City. Uh, we go to uh, well, we went back to the pizza place. That's where we went. So we grab some pizza, and now at this point, it's probably like 6:30, 7 o'clock,
It's
maybe.
later than that, but yeah.
Um, and we're gonna go back to the cigar bar, which is right next door to the pizza place that we went to the night before, also. And at this point, Jones is like, "Yeah, I've had enough." Right, so he goes back to the room. So one down, right? Then there were five. We go into the cigar bar. I've stopped drinking alcohol, at least. Like I got a Sprite with my pizza to try and feel somewhat better. I was just drinking water at the cigar bar. I got like halfway through my cigar and I was like, Oh, woof, I am done. So I don't know, it was probably like quarter of nine ish. Um, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going back. And then Vinny goes, yeah, I'm gonna come with you. And he's fucking stumbling, slurring, classic Vinny, right? Like he's been drinking all day. Can't drink all day if you don't drink start in the morning. He got a mimosa with breakfast when we went out, so um, he's hammered, right? And everyone's like, "Wow!" But this is what Vinny does too. Sometimes he gets really fucked up and just puts himself to bed. So I was like, "Okay, all right, no big deal." So like we get back to the room. It's probably right around 9 o'clock ish. Um, I toss my clothes on the floor, take out my contacts. I'm getting ready for bed. Vinny goes, I'm gonna go down to the bar. I was like, all right, dude, that's fine. Like, I don't really give a shit. Like, I'm going to bed. So he leaves the room for about 5 minutes. And then he comes back to the room with two Modelo's, tall boy cans, and he just cracks them. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna drink more. He's like, I'm just gonna drink, but I can't stop drinking right now because bad things are gonna happen if I stop drinking. Like, all right, whatever, dude. Like, I'm going to bed. And he goes, I'm gonna turn the Celtics on. Like, all right, dude, I don't care. Like, I'm probably just gonna try and fall asleep. So I'm laying in bed. He's watching the Celtics. He's drinking his beers, whatever. And then maybe a
We
half
couldn't figure
hour.
we couldn't figure out how to get the Celtics game on because it wasn't until me and Chris came in that we figured it out
Yeah,
for him.
so it was probably like a half hour later. I'm in bed. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's just kind of try and do this whole sleep thing. And the fucking door kicks open and it's you and Chris. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. So then the Celtics come on. There's more drinking. Chris is like, yeah, let's go, whatever. And I'm like, all right, I don't care. I'm still gonna just gonna try and sleep. Not sleeping, right? But then eventually, probably maybe like 10:30, I think it was. Chris called it quits and was like, yeah, I'm done. I gotta go to bed.
The
So
thing. Well, so truthfully, it all happened in a much shorter amount of time. He came in to talk shit to Vinny because Vinny was like, dude, all right. Chris was like, dude, I was ready to keep going. Like, you fucking left me. What the fuck? He's like, well, let's go downstairs. He goes, no, I wanted to be out. Like, already. Like, you left. I don't want to go down there. There's no TV down there. And then at
um
like 10:15, Chris had left. And then it was funny because I knew you were awake, but like trying to sleep.
yeah.
So I took two notches off the volume. And Vinny's like, "Oh, you can just shut that off." I go, "Dude, no, it's cool. Like, I just a little bit." He goes, "Nah, just shut it off." He goes, "Well, I'm not even watching." He goes, "Nah, Mello wants to go to sleep." I'm like, "It's okay, Vinny, just whatever." He goes, "No, just shut it off." I go, "Fine, shut it off."
Okay, fine.
And then he kills the lights to the room and then realize that he needs the lights back on. I just hear him go, "Sorry, Mello," and like turns the lights back on. I don't know what he was doing. Then he went back down. So he went back down to the bar.
All night.
No, he came back.
He went down like three times. No, I
Oh,
mean
he
like
oh
he
he
went
went back
down
and
to the bar
forth.
all night, like back and forth. So he went down and back like three times. And every time, because I didn't sleep. I just didn't sleep. So he went down, comes back, the door opens, it closes, and then I hear him sit in the chair, right? He's in like it's like a little like like an office chair, like what I'm sitting in right now, just at the little desk thing that's in there, and I just hear psh, like, all right, there's another one, and some time goes by. I'm like, maybe I'll finally fucking fall asleep, and I'm also like just not feeling so great because we just drank for fucking 2 days. Um, I was talking to Jones and I go, my own sobriety, I think, is what did me in because when I stopped drinking after the game, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna, take it easy, drink water, had a Sprite, do whatever, like, so I don't fucking feel terrible when we have to wake up at 3 a.m. to catch a plane. Um, but because of that, I was like aware of everything that was going on. If I was hammered, I would have just passed out. Like I would
Right.
have just laid in bed and just passed out. So I was like, yeah, I think that probably did me in. But regardless, so Vinny goes down and back to the bar like 3 times. Every time, doors open, doors close, the crack of the beer, the drinking. And at one point, it was probably like 12:30. I got up because I had to take a piss. And he's literally sitting in the office chair in the corner of the room in the dark, staring at his phone like this, just drinking a beer. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. I'm not doing this. It's 12:30. Like I've slept probably about 30 seconds.
We're waking up in an hour and a half,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah, because we
no.
lose the
And
hour.
yeah, hour and a half, yeah. So I go piss. It's 12:30. I lay back in bed. Finally, I finally fall asleep. Had to have been 15 minutes later. Vinny fucking falls into the bed next to me in the full size bed, right? Vinny's not a small guy either. And he falls into the bed next to me, and I go, "What the fuck?" And I look at my watch, 1 a.m. And I go, "Now, now, now you want to fucking go to bed. It's 1 o'clock. You were supposed
We are
to drink
waking up in
all
an
night
hour.
long." I go, "We have to get up in an hour." And I think he was snoring within seconds because he just passed out. And I go, "Fuck." So then I finally fall asleep again. And then your alarm goes off at 3 o'clock because at it was the night of the daylight savings. So at 2 o'clock, it automatically jumps to 3 o'clock. So, he gets into bed at 1 a.m. I finally fall asleep. Maybe 45 minutes goes by, half hour. Your alarm goes off at
Pick it up.
3. My alarm goes off at 3:15. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And we're both not quiet. Uh, packing our bags, getting dressed, packing everything up, throwing shit around the room, putting my shoes on, getting everything ready to go, making sure I have everything. And I look at you and I go, "Is he not going to get up?" So I go to the bed, right? And I give him a little shake.
You,
I'm
you
like,
are you are shaking him. I'm yelling his name.
I'm like,
Nothing.
"Hey, Vinny, Vinny, let's go. Come on, man. Like, we got to get up." Like, trying to be nice about it. Like, "Hey, Vinny, like, come on. Like, come on." Like, trying to shake him a little bit. Nothing. So then we finish what we have to do. We finish packing, right? We're done. We're ready to go. It's probably like 3:25 at this point. We're both ready to go. And we're like, "Dude, we got to get him up." So now it's no more like nice, quiet, wake him up,
Oh,
all
you're
good.
you're shaking him.
I'm
We're
literally
both yelling
shaking
at him.
him.
I'm
You're
smashing the
jumping
bed.
on the bed, like smashing the bed. We're yelling his name, like, "Vinny, let's go, get up." He finally comes to, gets up, has no fucking clue where he is, goes over to his backpack. His clothes are still on the table, right, with his backpack. He goes over to his backpack. He looks at it, takes one look, turns back around, and face plants in the bed. I think both of us fucking screamed, "Nope, get the fuck up." We like grab him and pull him back up. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah." I go, "Pack up your shit. We're on." I think, I don't know whatever time it was. It was probably 3 fucking 30 something, because whatever it
Earlier
was.
because the Uber picked us up at 3:35,
Okay, yeah,
3:38.
well, because we had the Uber pre-scheduled for
I had it scheduled for
3:45,
3:45. So
and I
see
told him,
when I
I
woke
go,
up
"You
at
have 12 minutes before the Uber's supposed to be here."
when
I
I
remember
woke up at
saying that.
3, I stayed in the bed till like 3:10,
Hmm.
and then it said like, hey, I actually think his name was Jose. It's like Jose's on the way.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, well, either way, it's a booking, so it's like we have till 3:45.
right,
But like,
right.
dude, this dude's gonna be here.
Yeah, I remember saying to Vinny, you have 12 minutes before the Uber gets here. So, you know, I was like, hurry the fuck up. Um, so he somehow fucking pulls it together and we get down, we get in the Uber. 2 minutes into the Uber drive, I hear him go, "That's what the fuck, dude? It's 2:40. Like, why are we going to the airport now?" And you were like, "Dude, it's 3:40. The Uber driver just didn't change his clock. It's daylight savings time." He's just like, yeah, yeah." And then didn't you say he was starting to fall asleep in the back
Fell
seat?
asleep.
Yeah, he did
He
fall
fell
asleep.
asleep. I was like, I'm going to push. He's always like, oh, I gotta drag him out. I was like, no, I was gonna push him out.
Yeah. Yep. So we make it to the airport and we have a 6 a.m. flight, right, home to Boston. So we got to the airport. It was probably like 4 o'clock, 4:15. Um, and we go through the terminal. They have like a little tram system that you have to take in Tampa from the main terminal to like the security checkpoint. So we hop on the tram. We get over to security. We go through again. Me and you both have TSA pre-check, so we blow right through. Vinny goes through peasant security. There's a little bit of a line, but again, it's 4 a.m. It's not crazy. We sit down over by our gate and we get a text from Vinny. My boarding pass is invalid again.
Yeah. So the last four flights, so to and from New Orleans and then to and from Tampa, he's had an invalid boarding pass because his gender's in there as a female,
Yeah. Every time the boarding pass prints, it says gender female.
which is crazy for Massachusetts that they would like stop him for that.
Yeah. Yeah. But he claims he fixed it, but obviously he didn't because if he did, it wouldn't keep happening. He's like, I don't know. He like showed me this was on Friday when we landed. He showed me like his True Blue account. He goes, it says Mr. He goes, I put in Mr. Vinny Albano. And I was like, yeah, but what does it say under gender? Like that doesn't fucking mean anything. Like you're adding a suffix isn't gonna fix your problem. And he scrolled down and it actually did say male in there. And I was like, okay, well, have you called anybody? He's like, no, no, I just did it in the app. I was like, all right, dude. Well, clearly that's not good enough. Clearly you need to get on the phone with someone and have them fix their system because just doing it in the app didn't work.
Or it's when he's booking, like
Yeah, or at
at the
booking
literal
time.
booking, it
Yeah,
needs to be correct.
right, right. Yeah, that could be it too.
Because that was a thing too. It's like it's not easy to change a boarding pass. So like when Michaela was doing her name change stuff, she had to call JetBlue for our flights to Atlanta, and they had to remove her and then put her back in
Yeah,
like immediately because she could
yeah,
do that herself. Stupid, but she could have done it herself. But it's easier because they'll take you out, put you in instead of just putting in like a name change or anything.
yeah. I mean, Amy purposely didn't do any of the name change stuff until after we got back for the honeymoon, like for that reason, because like it's not easy to change a boarding pass. Um,
Yeah, that was the thing. She changed her so she changed her name after Italy. I forget when specifically, doesn't matter.
with that,
Uh
it's even crazier too, because you guys travel internationally, right? So then it's a passport. It's not just a boarding pass, it's a passport that needs to be changed too.
but then we had a flight in December, so she did not change her passport
Yeah.
because she just used that for identification. And then we're kicking around going to Dublin in September. Or I'm sorry, we are going to go to Dublin in September. We just have to do it and book
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to get that passport figured out. So then I was like, but you got to call JetBlue first because you can't not call JetBlue and then not have identification.
Right. Right.
Um, so she took care of all that. But yeah, it's not easy to change your boarding pass.
Right. Right. So so Vinny shit-faced at 4 a.m. in the Tampa airport gets turned away from security, has to walk back on the tram, take it back to the main terminal. And then on his way out of the terminal, trying to figure out where he needs to go, he walks past Chris and Derek, who are like, "Yeah, hey, Vinny, you're going the wrong way," and whatever. Like he, probably mumbles some bullshit about how he hates, JetBlue and whatever. He finally figured it out, and he made his way back to us eventually. But
And actually, all that he was only out like 25 minutes.
yeah, yeah, he wasn't gone that long, so clearly he figured it out. Um, But yeah, we fly home. I told Amy, I was like, I think I slept more on the plane on the 2.5 hour plane ride home than I slept the whole night before. Um,
Yeah, that was tough because I may have slept from 11 to 3 because I know I didn't fall asleep before that. So 11 to 3, that's 4 hours, lose one. It's like, yeah, I mean, I slept for 3 hours. I guess I was one of the lucky ones.
yeah, yeah. So I think I was out before the plane even fucking took off because I woke up when the plane started taking off. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
only I
okay.
only dozed I only dozed a little. I was watching Gladiator 2. I watched Gladiator 1 on the way down because I didn't remember 1 second of that movie.
Yeah,
And then I watched 2 on the way back. And I dozed a little bit, but like I really didn't sleep on the plane.
yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah. So then we're back. I was probably in bed by fucking in bed and asleep by 9:15 last night, or the night before, Sunday night.
Oh, I
Um,
was asleep before that. Probably 8:40.
yeah, yeah, actually, probably same. I think that was, I don't know, maybe last night was 9:15. I don't know. I don't remember. It was early. It was an early night. And then, yeah, luckily I was off yesterday. But even still going back to work today, I'm like, it's still not firing on all cylinders.
So I would like to avoid the daylight savings hour
Yeah,
like the plague, but really, truly, all things considered, it's, I mean, it sucks, but we were home. I think I was home by 9:30.
yeah.
So it's like, man, that kind of sucked. And if there's a night game, there's no chance that that works.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the only reason we were really able to pull it off is because the game was at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
It wasn't the worst. And I've also had to get up at 3. Like our water taxi in Venice was like 3:45.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I was getting up. I'm used to getting up at 3 for a 6 a.m. flight. Like that's fine. Like any time I fly now with a 6 a.m. flight, like that's what I do to get to Logan. But it's not after a weekend of binge drinking and going to bed at 12:30 for a 3 a.m. wake up, right? Like I go to bed at 9 o'clock and I wake up at 3 and like, yeah, I'm tired, but I still slept for 5 hours at least. Catch a quick snooze on the plane on the way down. Most of my 6 a.m. flights were down to Philly, so I would just take a quick 30-minute snooze down and then I'd be good. Get a coffee when I got off the plane. I'm ready to rock for the day. But yeah, I mean, again, the 6 a.m. flight isn't the issue, right? Like you said, it's the losing the hour of the daylight savings and being in a room with a drunk Vinny. I think if I was in the other room, like if I was, if I swapped with Jones, um, I probably would have been asleep by 10:30 and then slept for, like you, right? I would have slept from 11 to 3,
Yep.
minus the hour from the daylight savings. So still 3 hours better than 45 minutes or whatever I got.
overall though. It's and I know JetBlue changed their flight plans, but like it's not awful to
Yeah,
get in Tampa now, whether it's a game or whether you try to play golf twice, but to get into Tampa at like again like one
yeah. I
and to
think,
get out and home by 9:30, like that's like
yeah,
it's tough. It was tough to wake up for, but it's really not that bad. Because then again, like if like so Jones just went with us, but like his flight was 8:20. Like, dude, that's a fucking 5:30 wake up.
right,
I'd
right.
almost rather wake up at 3 than like put on this facade that I'm gonna sleep a little.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I've always kind of felt that way. It's like I'd rather get less than 4 or 6. Like
right.
somewhere in between there just kind of doesn't jive for me.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, all things considered, right? Tampa, um, was a really cool city. I know, like you said, we spent most of the time in Ybor City, not in like downtown Tampa. But I would very much like to go back to Tampa. Like that is a city that is cool, right? So like just as an example, right? Like next year, like say in January, right? Like Martin Luther King weekend, right? If Amy was like, "Oh, I want to like go somewhere. We want to take a quick trip." Like Tampa to me is a great long weekend trip, right? Like you take the Friday off and you fly down either Thursday night after work or early Friday morning, like we did. You leave at 8 o'clock, you're in by 1. Um, you spend the day Friday, you hang out Saturday, Sunday, and you fly home, you know, midday on Monday, and you go back to work on Tuesday. Like Tampa is a really cool city. Um, there's a lot to do there. Again, we stayed primarily in one section. We did go downtown, right, to see the arena. So there's a lot going on in over by the arena. I'm sure there's plenty of other shit going on. The food is fantastic. Literally every place we went to for food, it was great. Like there was no like, yeah, this is okay. Like every place we went to for food was great. Even the breakfast place we went to, I got a breakfast burrito. It was incredible. Jones got the breakfast tacos. Um, I don't know if Vinny got biscuits and gravy. Um, it was all delicious, right? Like it was just, so Tampa is like one of those like sneaky cities to me. That's like a fun destination to go to. Especially now that we're a little bit older, right? Like if I was like 24, I'd be like, oh no, I'd rather go to fucking, I don't know, Miami, right? Or probably not Orlando, but what's the other one? There? I feel like there's a party town in Florida.
Fort
Panama City,
Lauderdale?
PCB. Is that it?
Oh,
Panama
I don't
City
even
Beach?
know.
I don't fucking know. I don't care. I'll never go there. Um, but Tampa is like one of those cool cities to me, right? Like it's, like we've gone to Charlotte and we're like, I got no desire to ever go back to Charlotte. We've been to Nashville so many fucking times. Me personally, I've spent so much time in Nashville in my life. Like, yeah, if someone wants to plan a trip and go there, sure, I'm not going to say no, but I am not going to go out of my way to go to Nashville again. Like, I'm good, right? Like,
No,
I'm
if
all
anyone
set.
was like, "Hey, we should do something in Nashville," it's like, okay, well, what's that something, and
Right.
why would we not go to New Orleans?
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's some places that we've been to where it's like, yeah, dude, I'm good, right? Like Myrtle Beach, right? Like Amy and I went to Myrtle Beach during COVID because it was one of the only places that was open. Um, it was a cool spot, but like, I mean, now that we have a kid, we would probably go back when he gets older, but it's very much a tourist, like bring your kids spot. It's not like hang out and like have a cool vacation type of deal, right? Like, and it's one of those like I didn't expect that from Tampa. Like, because you don't hear anything about it.
No, because I think truthfully, downtown Tampa, I actually don't know what's going on downtown. Um, I don't know if we walked through downtown or what's considered downtown, or if we walked through like a business district when we were trying to get that Uber after the game.
Yeah.
I could see that being very pedestrian, very boring, like whatever. But I went there in 2003 and I stayed down by the water because we took a cruise. So it's like, I don't know if you saw the Carnival ships, docked, whatever. It's like, I thought I remembered stuff going on down that way, but I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe I don't have that right. So I could see if someone's like, "Ah, Tampa's so boring." I'm like, well, go to fucking Ybor City. It's like that was fine.
Right. Right.
But I think I was telling someone like it seems like a good like Ybor City seems like a good home base thing. Like if you're gonna like not just go in and out like we did or like not have a game as an attract like
Right.
you probably want to get a car, go do something,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
come
for sure.
back, get dinner, go drink and like whatever.
Right. Right.
That's the gist I get.
Yeah. Yeah. It's up there. It's like it's a middle tier city for me, right? Like it's not San Diego, it's not Savannah or New Orleans or Charleston, but it's there. It's just below it. It's way fucking better than a Charlotte or a Nashville, anything like that. Like mm, I would probably put Tampa even above like a Chicago. Like I really enjoyed Chicago when I was there, but Chicago's not like a destination spot. That's like you go to Chicago to watch a sporting event, right? Or something, right? Like you're not just like, "Oh, I'm going to take a long weekend to Chicago," right? Like that's not how that works, right? Like you could take a long weekend to Tampa. You can take a long weekend to Charleston, right? I think you should spend more time than that in Charleston, but you can do it, right? Like it's kind of one of those places for me, at least.
Yeah, I mean I liked it. I like that was easy in, easy out.
Yeah.
Um I think there's potential for another game. I think there's potential for golf, and that's kind of what I see.
Yeah.
Also, if I just want to get out of the fucking cold.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Like I said, that's a great long weekend spot. Because it's also not super expensive. Like I feel like Charleston can get pricey. Um, and like, not to knock Charleston, I fucking love Charleston. It's one of my favorite places in the country that I've been to. But it has an element, depending on what time of year you go there, there's a lot of college kids, right? So it gets super young. There's a lot of spots where everyone is just like 22 and fucking shit face falling all over the place, which again, once you get into your mid 30s, you're kind of, again, with me, probably you feel the same, but you're kind of all set with that, right? Like I don't need to be out at 2 a.m. with a bunch of 22-year-olds.
I wanted to be on at 2 a.m. at all.
Yeah, true. So that's Tampa. Shout out to Tampa. Um, I don't think I have anything else on Tampa other than Pirates, Vinny, hat tricks that sells buckets but doesn't sell buckets.
I don't sell buckets, remember that.
Yeah. So, on that note, do you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
Mine's easy, mine's simple. I played 9 holes today, and
Let's go.
um, yeah, it's just like way better when I can go play golf. Like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. My
That's all I
boss
got.
called me today. We were just talking about some other shit. This was like at the end of the day. So it was probably like 4:15, 4:20. And he goes, "Hey, it was before you go. How fucking awesome is it to look out the window and still see it be bright and have it be a little bit warm out?" And I go, "Dude, it is incredible." And he goes, "It's almost golf season." He goes, "We're getting real close to that after work 9 hole season." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, we are." And I go, "I can't fucking wait for that." Um, but yeah, I mean, life is better when you can golf. I think
Oh,
that's a true fact.
fucking fuck this place.
I got an email. today from New England Country Club that was like, hey, with the recent weather we've had, we've been able to open the course. I forget what I deleted the email, but it was like, also, we're running a special for the rest of March. If you make a tea time and you show up, all you have to do is show us that you follow the course on Instagram, and we'll give you like 20% off of your greens fee, which I think are already discounted because it's technically preseason. So, I mean, I forget how much it is, normally at New England Country Club. It's not cheap. It's probably in the like 80 to 100 range. Um, but if it's preseason and it's like $75 and they give you 20% off, that's what, $60. You can go play New England. So I thought about it, but
It is gonna get cold again.
yeah, it is.
Not like cold, cold, but
Well, the nights are still going to be cold. Like I looked, it's still going to be in the 30s every night. So,
yeah,
even if you wanted to play in the morning, like you're going to get hit with
yeah, and that's
frost. You're going to get
that's a
frost
little
delays.
that's a little bit of my problem right now. Is it's still too cold too early.
Yeah.
But I actually really like the days when it's like say 45 and gloomy at 10.
Yeah.
That usually keeps enough people away that I can just go bomb around and I'm good. I'll do that all day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. So, uh, all right. What is my final thought going to be? So Utah, the state of Utah, became the first state in the country to officially ban fluoride in the drinking water. So, I thought that was interesting. Apparently, I looked into this a little bit more. Um, it's left up to municipalities mostly throughout the country, but some states have a mandate of like there needs to be at least X amount of fluoride in the water if it services like a certain threshold or above houses, right? So like, to use a local example, right, in Massachusetts, the Quabbin Reservoir services basically everything inside of the 95 belt, right? All of those cities and towns get water from the MWRA, which ultimately comes from the Quabbin Reservoir, which is out in like central Western Mass. Um, so like that would be something that would like if Massachusetts was a state with that threshold thing, which I don't think it is, it might just be a whole statewide thing. Um, that would need to have fluoride in it. But Utah is the first state to just say, nope, fuck it. Across the state, you're not allowed to put fluoride in the water. Um, so the reason why this comes up all the time is there is legitimate science, right? There is real science that shows that at high levels, fluoride causes neurodegeneration and impaired cognitive ability, right? So those are just fancy ways to say it makes you fucking dumb, right? Um, Now, we don't have to go down the rabbit hole and like have the whole argument of, well, is there enough fluoride in the water to make people dumb, or is it a cumulative effect? Does it matter if it's a really small amount over 40 years that someone drinks it? Is that the same as one bolus? I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not a scientist. But there's cold, hard scientific facts that prove that fluoride in high enough doses does cause, you know, people to be stupid, right?
I don't think it's just the fluoride, but anyway.
Well, yeah, no, it's not just the fluoride, but it's one of those things when you think about it, right? We know that fluoride has protective properties to your teeth, right? Which is why they claim, right, the ever elusive they. using air quotes if you're not watching on YouTube, they claim why it's in the water to begin with, to protect people from cavities, right? But then you could use the argument, well, if it's super low levels, is that really enough to protect your teeth if you're drinking tap water, right? What if you don't drink tap water? So, like, ultimately, what it boils down to for me is you don't think enough people brush their teeth. Therefore, you want to put a chemical in the water that may protect their teeth, but may also cause some serious, like, neurodegenerative issues. Why? Why? Like, just tell people to brush their teeth. And if they don't brush their teeth, that's on them, right? Like, who gives a shit? Like, to to mass medicate, essentially, I think that's a heavy way to describe it. Because again, it's just fucking a mineral in the water, a chemical, whatever the fuck fluoride is. It's just something that you put in the water. So I want to tread lightly when I say mass medicate, but I guess it could be kind of construed that way. To do that just because you don't trust people to brush their teeth enough. I don't know, dude, that doesn't seem like a good enough threshold to me.
Yeah, the one thing that annoys me with the fluoride thing is I don't think anyone actually knows enough, both in terms of for keeping it and for banning it. I don't think anyone really knows enough because it seems like that's what it seems like from the outside, isn't that no one actually knows?
Well, yeah, because that's the other thing too. We do have the cold hard scientific facts, but the cold hard scientific facts show that at a level of whatever, right? Like call it, I'm making numbers up, right? Call it a thousand parts per million, right? It causes neurological disorder. Well, how much is in the water? Like 10 parts per million, right? You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, right? Like we know it causes issues at this level, but the amount that's in the water is way below that level. It's like, does it really matter? I don't know. Again, I don't know. Right? It's just it's
Yeah,
an
the thing is, like,
extrapolation.
you wish I could just get everyone to shut up. So I don't know which side does that
Yeah.
in this case.
Yeah, but I mean, again, to for me personally, in my opinion, um, you just take it out of the fucking water, dude. Like it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, I'm like, it's funny. I saw some guy make this argument about aim point, and people are like, that's such a lazy argument. I'm like, that's the best argument. And what he said was, he goes, listen, I don't like it. He goes, but also something that makes people complain and bitch and moan this much, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Oh, so we should just ban everything? He goes, I don't know if I guess if it's going to be this annoying, but I don't know. I don't know if banning it or keeping it makes it less annoying. I don't know which one. So
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
banning it makes it less annoying.
Yeah.
Because if you just ban it, the people for it will fucking shut up. But if you keep it, then the people against it will continue to bring it up.
Right. Right.
I
So
don't
yeah.
know. Whichever one gets people to shut up. That's the side I'm on.
Yeah. So that's Utah. They're the first ones. So we'll see who else follows. It's probably not going to be Massachusetts. So yeah, that's going to do it for us. So thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe up above, hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're an audio only guy as well. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Check out the show notes below. Support the sponsors, support us. And until next time, good night, everybody.